after every election, chief minister takes oath before going to their actual seat, before holding their position. They take the oath. So we have that oath ceremony. We can prepare a chart for that moment. Okay, that is possible. That's how in mundane astrology we are doing prediction. I think few days before CM of Gujarat changed, if you know. So for that CM, you can predict event for next coming years. Okay, like if any CM take oath, so you can prepare chart for that moment, and from that chart you can make a prediction for next 5 years. This is how we do. So you can consider that as a Muhurta chart. So that is a Muhurta, that is a moment when he is taking charge of that position. Like this, you have to observe your surrounding, whatever event is happening nowadays in India. Whether that event will be successful or not, think about this astrologically. This is a practice for you. You can boost your logics. You can apply your astrological understanding on this. Okay, so today we'll discuss one or two events, similar events. Okay, but not political event. We can discuss that Gujarat CM position also. Otherwise, Assam or Kerala ministry. We have many options. Okay, but I think if you are watching news, I think you all remember 12th of August, India tried to launch one GSAT EOS means Earth Observation Satellite. This is a satellite, GSAT satellite. We call it GSAT satellite. So ISRO tried to launch that satellite. Anybody know about this news? This is a failure news, na? I think this is not publicized by media, but if you type on internet, you can find it.
Yes, it was. Yeah. We heard it, and we also saw it in the news. It failed.
It failed, na?
Yeah.
Failed. Okay. So now, why it failed? Let's talk about astrologically.
So weather conditions की वजह से बोला था उन्होंने fail हुआ.
किस वजह से?
Weather conditions की वजह से.
Weather conditions की वजह से. Okay, ठीक है. So see, that is a space research organization. They should know the climate and all these things in advance. Weather forecasting and all these things they should consider. They can't make this kind of silly mistakes. No? But obviously, weather is not in our hand. That is not a man. Weather changes every time. It's a natural thing. But still, I think as an astrologer, if we suggest them good Muhurta, if they launch their satellite on that Muhurta, so at least we can reduce these kind of blunders, at least for, I hope 70-80% we can reduce it. Of course, there are a lot of technicalities and all these things we have to consider. But being an Indian, being a Jyotishi, we also see that this scenario also. So I will show you 4 different things. Okay, let's say 5 different events of same month. Same month, or we can take 2 months. All related to space. Satellites moving towards space. First case is this one, GSAT, ISRO. This is failed. And if you are aware of news, you know there are 2 US billionaires who traveled to space last month only. Anybody know the name of these billionaires? Richard Branson. If you type on internet, type Richard Branson space travel, you will find it.
It's British, sir.
Yes, sorry, British.
Yeah.
I know. I thought he's a US billionaire.
He's British.
Okay. And what about this Jeff Bezos?
Jeff Bezos is American.
He is American, I think.
Yeah.
So these are 2 people who travel to space successfully. I think one Richard Branson took I think 18 minutes, if I'm right. 18 minutes or 20 minutes. They have traveled to this space, I think 15 minutes. If I can recall it, you can find it on internet. 15 minutes they travel to space and they back safely. So all these two events of successful launching, and next month we have this ISRO event that is failed. Okay, so we'll try to understand this in terms of Muhurta. There are different things which you can apply in this horoscope, but we'll talk only about the Muhurta part. Okay, so I will use some other parameters of Muhurta. Maybe we have not covered in this session. If you are more advanced in Muhurta, you can understand it. If not, don't worry. We'll cover all these things in our course. Otherwise, you can just make your notes so you can read about it. Cancer Lagna. Okay, watery sign. So first and foremost important thing for choosing any Muhurta is the Lagna in itself. Okay, and see, when you choose a Muhurta for any specific event, that event is not a person specific, or that event is not an individual specific. Like this rocket launch is not an individual specific. Okay, this is a kind of an event. Like if this mission successful, then we may have many benefits from this satellite related to defense as well as disaster warning in agriculture field. In all these areas, we can experience the good benefits. Okay, but it's failed. So as this event is not an individual specific, so we have some sets of different rules. If you're choosing a Muhurta for any specific individual, any specific person, then we have the rules slightly different. Okay, so now this is a watery sign. Cancer is a watery sign, and we are doing an event that is related to space, air. Are you getting me? And Lagna is watery. This is the first thing which we should avoid. You should see the purpose of event, the nature of event, and the tattva of event for which you are deciding the Muhurta. So all these space-related events and all, we should choose airy signs as compared to this watery sign. First mistake. Is it okay? Can you able to understand it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here in Lagna we have Saturn and Sun. Okay, Sun in Cancer it's good. Saturn in its own sign, that is retrograde. Now, as per the Muhurta principle, this is not a good position. Malefic in Kendra is not considered good in the Muhurta. This is a basic principle. Okay, and that is also retrograde Saturn. Second point. Okay, now the moon. Anybody know? See, moon is with Venus in Virgo. Okay, in Muhurta we call it Mahadosh. We call it Sagraha Chandra. You can write it down, Sagraha Chandra. You can read about this specific concept that we will cover in our course in detail. What is this Sagraha Chandra? So this is a kind of a Mahadosh. Moon-Venus combination in Virgo. And another most important principle for the Muhurta is 8th house should be empty. 8th house should be empty. But here you can see Jupiter is in 8th house, which is not considered good. In Muhurta, we call it Ashtama Shuddhi. Okay, we call it Ashtama Shuddhi. Ashtama Shuddhi means simply you can say like this: 8th house should be empty in any Muhurta chart. if you don't want any obstruction or delay. Okay, especially planets like Jupiter, Saturn, they should be avoided in 8th house. And here Jupiter is in 8th house, that also retrograde Jupiter. Now we have how many points? The first one is the Lagna, wrong Lagna, Saturn's position, and this Jupiter's, Ashtam Shuddhi,
Moon.
and the Sagraha Chandra. Okay, these 4 points we have seen not compatible with the event that we are choosing. Okay, now here is a trick. Now Tithi on that day was Shukla Chaturthi,
Rikta Tithi.
Chidra Tithi. I think it's a Chidra Tithi. Neeraj, we have covered Chidra Tithi.
We have covered that Chidra Tithi, but this is not the Chidra Tithi. Chaturthi is the Rikta Tithi, no?
Okay, it's Rikta. I thought it's Chidra.
छिद्र is that भैया वो लास्ट जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं ना वो स्टार्टिंग का 3 घंटा 10 मिनट छोड़ देना 3 घंटा 56 मिनट छोड़ देना वो है
ठीक है. And this tithi is also not what we call favorable for this event. Okay, so almost see the all important parameters in this chart is not favorable.
Now can I add one point?
Yeah.
If anyone pay attention on the Karna, this is the Karna Vrishti. Can you see here?
Yes.
This is also not the good kind of thing. So there is so many layers which is not auspicious.
Okay. So in same manner, like whatever we have done in this chart, we will apply the same principle in other 2 events also, other 2-3 events that we are going to study today, like that Richard Branson's horoscope, okay, and Jeff. On these 2 charts also we will apply the same principles. Okay, and let's see whether in those charts you can see these kind of problems. And see, like right now we have seen 4 or 5 parameters. Let's say out of these 4 or 5 parameters, one is not good, the rest of 4 are favorable. Then also we can say yes, this event can be possible. Okay, but all of these parameters are going negative. Then how can we suggest Muhurta for that moment? Okay, so next time, whenever you do any new event or new kind of activity, you can select your Muhurta like this. Okay. So now, if you want, you can prepare a new chart. Anybody wants to add anything to this chart? Their observation, if you noticed anything new. Okay, so this is a chart of Richard Branson. And see, I am not using his birth chart. Okay, so we are doing the Muhurta analysis. So like this event is already taken, so we can't suggest him Muhurat now. Neither he asked us any Muhurat. And we will not suggest any Muhurat without any fees. Okay, so we will analyze the Muhurta chart. Muhurta chart of the date and time in which he traveled to the space. So date was 11th of July 2021.
I like talking Tom.
Okay.
You. And this way.
11th of July.
2021. If anybody can check the date is correct or not. By the meantime, we prepare this chart. 11th of July 2021, and time is 14 hours 40 minutes. Now see whether you cast any Prashna chart or Muhurta chart. Lagna is always important. Okay, so here we have Libra ascendant as well as the see. If you observe closely, first is the Lagna. In previous chart, we have seen the Lagna is a watery sign. Okay, Lagna was the watery sign. Now in this chart, Lagna is Libra. Libra is which element?
Air.
AD. And that is suitable for our work.
Yes, very good.
Okay. In previous chart also Saturn is in Kendra. Here it's also in Kendra.
In camera.
But we have benefic
Oh.
planets also in this.
Rahu in the eighth.
Rahu?
In the eighth.
Yeah, Rahu in it, but in Muhurta, Rahu Ketu you don't need to consider in chart.
Okay.
Okay. Rahu and Ketu you can ignore it in this chart. Okay. Now there are 4 planets in Kendra. Malefic
Yes.
Mars. Okay. Saturn, Moon and Venus. Okay. Jupiter is in trine. This is one of the good thing that is not available in the previous slide. Okay. In previous slide, Jupiter was in the 8th, which was creating Ashtama dosh. But here it's in trine, which is good, in the 5th house. Now, Saturn and Mars with 2 malefics in Kendra and 2 benefics in Kendra. If you want to judge the strength of Kendra, both are balancing in itself. Okay. We have 3 points: Lagna, Kendra, and this Ashtama. Ashtama was not there. Lagna is good. Only we have difficulty with the Kendra. But that also, if you look closely, that is balancing in itself. So this is a better than the ISRO thing.
Yes.
This time chosen this Muhurta is better than the ISRO. Nobody has chosen any Muhurta. Okay, but naturally, the event timing which they have chosen, that is compatible with the Muhurta principles. Okay, now I will give you another new concept. Okay, if you see this chart, just a second, Rahu Ketu will not consider the Tithi. Tithi was also Shukla Dvitiya Tithi. Now tell me this Shukla Dvitiya Tithi is favorable or not?
This is the Bhadra, no?
So we have just seen these Tithis, na?
Yes.
So can anybody tell me what about this Tithi? Is it favorable or not?
It's auspicious.
Auspicious. Now, Ashtama should be 8 and also. Okay. Yeah. You just create another chart. Date was 20 July 2021. And the time was 9 hours 15 minutes, 9:15. The place is West Texas. Space TEXAS. Search in USA.
No.
You can check the latitude and longitude. That is 31 north 48. You can feed the longitude details directly. 31 north, 48, and 97 west, 05. Leo sign. Now for these aerial kind of activities, the space kind of activities, fiery sign and the airy sign, both are favorable. So in Richard Branson's side chart, we have seen the airy sign. And here you can see it's a fiery sign. Okay, no watery element. The Lagna. Okay, Mars and Venus. Now it is occupied by Mars and Venus with Jupiter in Kendra. We are not considering Rahu and Ketu. In Kendra, we have Venus, Moon, Jupiter. All these three planets, benefic planets. Only Mars is malefic in the Lagna. That is also in the fiery sign that is supporting this particular Lagna for this specific event. But suppose if Moon was there instead of Mars, then it will create trouble. But here, it's okay, Moon is in Kendra, Jupiter is in Kendra, Venus also is in Lagna. So Deepesh is saying, can Mars be considered functionally benefic? Yes, we can consider it. Mars is a functional benefit in this chart. It's a 5th house lord, 9th house lord. No? And Mudrikona sign Aries is falling in the 9th house. That's why I'm considering it as a okay. But suppose if it's a different Lagna where Mars is a lord of some Dusthana, then it will create difficulty. But here it's okay. Okay. Here Moon is also not having that Mahadosha that we have seen in the ISRO side, ISRO chart. In ISRO chart, I think Moon was with the Venus, if I remember. Sagra
Yes, sir.
Chandra.
Yes, sir.
Sagra Chandra Mahadosh. Okay. No. Day was Tuesday, not auspicious. No, day doesn't matter here. See, that's why I'm saying that we are not considering general thing. General thing. So now we have that Muhurta chart, specific movement chart. Then you have to consider every factor, every minute details. Because day or Tuesday, it means we are talking about the Hora. Sunrise Hora was Mangal. That's why we call it Tuesday. Okay, but now we are doing that specific activity in specific Hora. If you check the Hora of that particular hour, that makes sense. Are you getting me? See, if we're saying you are choosing any day for any event, so technically you are saying you are choosing a Hora of that day. Because Tuesday, we call it Tuesday. Why? Because Mars was the Hora lord of the day. But now here you can choose the Hora of that particular hour. It means 9:15. You have to check the Hora of 9:15. Retrograde Jupiter is good. No problem. But if the same Jupiter is in 8th house, then it will create trouble. Then we call it as Ashtama Dosha. Okay. Tithi was Shukla Dwadashi. Now the Shukla Dwadashi is not auspicious for any constructive work. If you have seen the last slide of Neeraj, I think he is mentioned Shukla Dwadashi was cruel or something like this, if I remember. That is not considered good. Okay, but if you read the B.B. Raman's Muhurta book, as per him, Dwadashi, you can avail for the Muhurta. Okay, but
No,
let's
bhaiya, that table was on the Dwadasi Tithi, the first 4 hours are the Shidra Tithi, Randra Tithi.
okay. Mhm.
And Dwadasi is actually the Jaya Tithi, no?
Shukla Dwadashi, yeah.
Yes, it is a Jaya Tithi. And also, this is the Shukla Paksha. So, moon is very, very important, and moon is the strong planet in the Shukla Tithi, no? Shukla Paksha Dwadasa.
Yes.
That's why.
Everybody understanding this thing, how you can create Muhurta. Maybe
Yes.
maybe many of you are new for this concept, but don't worry. At least take one by one, note down one by one, like what is this Ashtama dosha, how we are deciding the lagna. See, lagna here as per the activity. We are doing the aerial activities, so we are choosing the airy side. But suppose if you are doing any earthy activity, earthy means like digging any land and anything, so you can choose a lagna that is favorable for this activity. Like this. Okay. This is the thing. So also all these things we will study in our course in detail. All these elements. So till now you can think about these kind of events. Like somebody just posted in the chat section, just now Punjab CM has resigned from his position. So now you can go to internet and check when he has taken an oath. Create a chart for that oath ceremony and check it. That Muhurta was good or not. You will realize the power of Muhurta.